The Israel-Palestine conflict is one of the most enduring and complex conflicts in modern history. It is a conflict deeply rooted in competing claims to land, religion, and national identity. The conflict has claimed countless lives and continues to fuel instability in the Middle East. Understanding the historical context is crucial for comprehending the present-day realities. This requires examining the perspectives and narratives of both Israelis and Palestinians. At the heart of the conflict lies the question of land ownership and the right to self-determination. For Israelis, the land holds deep biblical significance and is seen as their ancestral homeland. Palestinians, on the other hand, have lived in the region for centuries. They also view it as their rightful home. This fundamental disagreement over land and sovereignty has fueled decades of violence and mistrust. The conflict has had a profound impact on the lives of ordinary people on both sides. Israelis live with the constant threat of terrorism. Palestinians face restrictions on their movement and access to basic necessities. The conflict has also spilled over into the international arena. It has strained relations between nations and fueled cycles of violence and condemnation. Finding a lasting solution to the conflict remains a significant challenge. It requires addressing the historical grievances, overcoming deep-seated mistrust, and finding a way for both Israelis and Palestinians to coexist peacefully. The road to peace is long and arduous, but the pursuit of a just and lasting solution remains paramount. The late 19th century saw the rise of Zionism, a Jewish nationalist movement. Zionism aimed to establish a Jewish state in Palestine. This was seen as a response to centuries of anti-Semitism and persecution faced by Jews in Europe. The movement gained momentum, attracting Jews from around the world who sought refuge and a homeland. Meanwhile, Palestine was under Ottoman rule. The population was predominantly Arab and Muslim, with a Jewish minority. The arrival of Zionist settlers led to tensions with the local Arab population. Both groups laid claim to the same land, creating a volatile situation. World War I brought significant changes to the region. The Ottoman Empire, allied with Germany, was defeated. The British took control of Palestine under a mandate from the League of Nations. This mandate charged Britain with administering the territory and preparing it for eventual independence. The British issued the Balfour Declaration in 1917. This declaration expressed support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. The declaration was welcomed by Zionists but viewed with suspicion by Palestinians. They feared being displaced from their land. Following World War II and the Holocaust, international pressure grew for a solution to the Palestine question. In 1947, the United Nations voted to partition Palestine into two states, one Jewish and one Arab. Jerusalem was to be placed under international control. The partition plan was accepted by Jewish leaders, however, it was rejected by Arab leaders. They saw it as an unfair division of land. They argued that it favored Jewish immigrants over the Arab population who had lived in Palestine for generations. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the establishment of the State of Israel. This declaration was met with immediate war. Neighboring Arab states attacked Israel, aiming to prevent the creation of a Jewish state. The war resulted in a resounding Israeli victory. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War, known to Israelis as the War of Independence and to Palestinians as the Nakba, a catastrophe, had devastating consequences. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled or were expelled from their homes. They became refugees in neighboring Arab countries. The war left Israel in control of more territory than it was allocated under the UN partition plan. The 1948 war was just the first in a series of conflicts between Israel and its Arab neighbors. In 1967, the Six-Day War broke out, resulting in a swift and decisive Israeli victory. Israel captured the West Bank, East Jerusalem, the Gaza Strip, the Sinai Peninsula, and the Golan Heights. The 1967 war had significant territorial consequences. Israel occupied territories inhabited by a large Palestinian population. This occupation became a major source of tension and fueled the Palestinian struggle for independence. The war also led to the displacement of more Palestinians, further complicating the refugee crisis. Subsequent years saw ongoing conflict and violence. The First Palestinian Intifada, A sustained uprising against Israeli occupation erupted in 1987. The Intifada brought the Palestinian issue back into the international spotlight. It highlighted the human cost of the occupation and increased pressure on Israel to find a peaceful resolution.